I'm Erik Robey.
I'm Karla Shaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Today we'll meet the reigning Annapolis Idol and take a tour of the Marlyand Live Casino construction. But first, making headlines this week. Well, they came, they battled, they rocked. A new high school Battle of Bands champion was crowned this week, and it's Stiletto from Broadneck High School. As the name suggests, girl power was a bit of a theme this year, and a female-fronted band took top honors. Stiletto features Johnny Curtis on guitar and lead vocals, Ben Fisher on guitar and vocals, Andrew Vasilichenko on bass, and Austin Brown on drums. In all, 13 bands competed for the top prize, and 4 featured girl members. Organizers said that's pretty unusual. Here's a quick shot of Stiletto performing at the battle. Now, just in case you didn't make it to Maryland Hall for the show, don't worry. We're going to broadcast the show in its entirety on community television as soon as the guys get it ready and edited. We'll let you know when it's done, and then it will air on Friday and Saturday nights starting at midnight for about a month. The competition is not just about bragging rights. The winner also receives a free studio session with Steve Wright at Studio A of Right Way Studios to record a song. That song will also get airtime on 98 Rock. You can still see the top 4 bands in person. They'll play a special Best of the Battle show at the Whiskey in Annapolis on February 19th. For more information, find AA Battle on Facebook.
The weather has been so amazing, folks, lately that it has us thinking about spring and then summer. Well, one popular water activity that has become a bit of a tradition around here will be seeing some changes this year. Last week, Maryland's highest court said that Dobbins Island in the Magothy River is off limits to the public. The Baltimore Sun reports that people can still anchor in the cove, pull small vessels onto shore, and frolic on the beachfront below the high tide zone. But they can't go further inland. That area will now be reserved for the owner and his guest, and his wife, of course, who bought the 7-acre island for about $825,000 in 2003, with plans to build a home there. And that's not all, folks. The Bumper Bash, an annual gathering on Dobbins Island, is being targeted for stricter rules by the Maryland Department of Natural Resources Police. Senate Bill 127 in the Maryland General Assembly would require a permit to have a gathering of 50 or more boats, with races, parades, and other events being exempt. Some neighbors have complained about revelers parking illegally in the neighborhoods and causing a ruckus. Last year, the Bumper Bash drew more than 800 boats and 4,000 people, according to reports from the Maryland Gazette. Some legislators are now questioning whether the legislation is necessary at all. We'll keep you updated on this and give you all the happenings on Dobbins Island. If you'd like more information, you can call your delegate or senator at 410-946-5400.
This week, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to more than 1,302 calls for service. This included more than 1,007 emergency medical calls and 100 fire calls. This week, 2 firefighters and 1 civilian were injured when a fire truck collided with a car while responding to a reported fire in North County, and 4 people were killed during an early morning accident in West County. With us now to tell us more about these incidents is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. The first incident occurred on Friday, January 27, 2012, around 5:34 p.m. At this time, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a report of smoke coming from a house in the area of Belgrove Road and Henson Avenue in the Brooklyn Park area of the county. While en route to this incident, Engine 321 from the Linthicum Fire Station was involved in an accident with a civilian vehicle around 5:40 p.m. in the area of Camp Meade Road and Baltimore-Annapolis Boulevard. 3 people were injured, 2 firefighters and 1 civilian, as a result of the incident. All of their injuries were considered to be minor. However, all 3 patients were transported to Baltimore Washington Medical Center in Glen Burnie via ground ambulances, where they were later treated and released. The cause of the accident remains under investigation by the Anne Arundel County Police. However, preliminary information released by the police have indicated that the accident occurred when the fire engine was operating with all of its audible and visual warning devices, was attempting to pass a civilian vehicle. When the civilian vehicle swerved to the left in front of the passing fire engine. The civilian vehicle left the roadway and came to rest in a drainage ditch while the fire engine continued down the road and struck 2 utility poles before coming to a stop. In a second incident, Anne Arundel County firefighters were called to the area of Route 50 East and Route 424 in the Davisonville area of the county around 3:44 a.m. on Saturday morning. The first firefighters to arrive on the scene reported a 2-car front impact collision with entrapment and fire. There were 4 patients total as a result of the accident. Crews quickly assessed the scene and determined that 3 occupants in 1 vehicle suffered fatal injuries and were pronounced dead at the scene. A 4th patient, a male estimated to be in his 50s, suffered life-threatening injuries and was transported to Anne Arundel Medical Center in Annapolis, where he was later pronounced dead. The accident resulted in major traffic delays as eastbound Route 50 was closed for approximately 4 hours. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. The cause of the accident remains under investigation by Maryland State Police. We have more to come regarding the people who lost their lives in this incident as we take a look at the personal side of the accident later in the show.
Well, folks, there's more Week in Review to come, including our interview with Suzy Estrada, the reigning Annapolis Idol, and I'll take you on a tour of the Marlyand Live Casino construction site, which will be opening up to the public in late spring. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm County Executive John Leopold. Accidents caused by drunk driving can be prevented. Only you can make the difference. Drink responsibly and always buckle up.
On average, every month, 22 Marylanders die as a result of drunk driving crashes.
We don't want to be the designated driver for drunk driving crash victims.
But if you choose to drink and drive, we will find you and provide you with a free ride.
Make the right choice. Drive sober and always buckle up.
Designate a sober driver, or
we'll designate one for you.
And welcome back. Well, a wonderful world-class gaming facility sitting right here behind me. Of course, I'm out at Arundel Mills, where Marlyand Live will be opening up here in a couple months, actually in June. And we thought we'd bring you 2 of the gentlemen that really were the driving force behind making Marlyand Live happen. I'm talking about our County Executive, John Leopold. Welcome to the show, Mr. Leopold. And of course, from the Cordish Corporation, Mr. Joe Weinberg.
Erik, how are you?
Doing great. Gentlemen, this is a fabulous facility, and we're months away from opening this up. Now, Mr. Leopold, this was an issue that came on the ballot. It came back on the ballot again in the last election. The voters of Anne Arundel County passed it. Why do you think the voters of Anne Arundel County said 60% wanted this to happen here?
2 reasons, jobs and money. We need the job creation that this facility represents. I just had the opportunity to go through this facility, see how it's progressing in the construction. We have 2,500 jobs in the construction phase of this project. 1,500 jobs will be permanent at this facility. So job creation was number 1 on citizens' mind, and the revenue, which this county desperately needs to continue to provide the quality services that citizens have come to expect.
Well, Joe, this was something that the Cordish Corporation undertook. A lot of people were surprised when they heard there was going to be a casino at Arundel Mills Mall, but it's something that I think the community's embraced. Tell us a little bit about the type of venue this is going to be out here.
Well, this is really going to be a spectacular venue, both for the county as well as our entire state. We have, in addition to world-class gaming, we have great restaurants like Cheesecake Factory and Bobby Flay, great music venue like Ram's Head Center Stage, where we'll be bringing in national and regional acts from all over the country. So a world-class venue. It's going to be great for the county, great for the neighborhoods, and generate $400 million plus for the state and education in our area.
Well, Mr. Leopold touched on the jobs. We talked about jobs. 2,500 construction jobs. We've already put people to work out here building this fantastic facility. Tell us about folks in the community. If they want to come and find a great employer in Maryland Live, a great company to work for, how do they do that, Joe?
Well, we have a number of ways, convenient ways for people to apply for jobs. One, we've opened an employment center at 7270 Park Circle Drive, right off of Coca-Cola Drive. So you can go in any day of the week to apply in person for a job. We also have an online process for applying. You can go to www.jobs@marylandlive.com and apply for a job online, and then you'll get called once you've put those applications in. Or you can come here to the mall, and go into the Anne Arundel County Workforce Development space and be able to apply right here at the mall.
Erik, if I might ask, Joe, isn't it true that when you first announced the jobs availability, that the first day, I mean, the place was just flooded with people? How many people actually came down
Well, we've had several thousands of people who showed up at our employment center the first week. And right. I'll tell you, having been there and met with the people who are looking for jobs in the county and the state, really gave us a personal connection to how important this facility is and those jobs that we're creating are to our entire community.
Very good.
Well, Mr. Leopold, I'm gonna end with you here. There's been a lot of projects in Anne Arundel County over the last 20 years, from the racetrack to the Redskins Stadium. This has been the largest project that anybody's been able to get through. Tell us a little bit about how you played a part in that.
Well, of course, it was somewhat controversial, but we very much appreciate the vision that the Cordish company came forward with. But Question A was a ballot issue. It was hotly debated. My feeling was there were those who opposed Question A, who had a financial stake in seeing it opposed. But the citizens, to their credit, saw through the arguments and realized the importance of job creation and revenue production for Anne Arundel County and the state of Maryland.
This computer animation gives you an idea of what Maryland Live will look like when it's complete. The $500 million project spans a total of 12 acres, all without disturbing a single tree. Visitors will walk across a cobblestone street that will be closed to the cars during the warmer months, to famous restaurants such as the Cheesecake Factory and Bobby Fillets. The gaming floor will have nearly 5,000 slot machines, and a massive bar will be the key architectural feature. Past the main floor will be Ram's Head Live Arena, which will have live music and entertainment and seat about 500 guests. Other features include more than 300 plasma screens, 8 full-service bars, and electronic gaming tables.
Well, thanks, Erik. And speaking of shows and entertainment, today we have the 2011 Annapolis Idol Suzy Estrada on the show, and also Joe Burcham as well. So, Suzy, tell us how you became interested in entering Annapolis Idol. What was your inspiration?
Well, I've sung my entire life, and I went to college and studied music there, and then I became a mom and had several children, and I kind of got out of performing for many years, and we had a family tragedy that happened on May 30th of 2009. My nephew, Christopher Jones, was killed, and after that happened, I just kind of started just rethinking my own priorities in my own life and what I would want my kids to see me do and what I'd want them to do as grown women. I've got 4 daughters and a son, and so I just started getting inspired to do something and thinking life was too short, and so it's funny, the song that I sang in Annapolis Idol was my sister's song for her son, Anyway, by Martina McBride, and so that was the song that I auditioned with and then ultimately sang in the competition. And
that's the song that you're going to close out the show with today. Right. And tell us what's been happening with your life since then, with your musical career.
Well, right after Annapolis Idol, I called my friend Joe, and we had played together at our both of our old churches about 3 years ago or so. We had done some concerts for a homeless shelter that had come through, and we really enjoyed writing music together. And so it had been a few years since we'd done anything because my nephew had passed away. We adopted a little boy, and so life just got busy. So about, I think, a week after Annapolis Idol, I called Joe and I said, we've got to do this again. I'm missing it, and I really want to use this competition that I had just won to kind of get out there and start doing things. So we've been busy. We've been doing about 3 or 4 shows a month, which is all I can really handle with my family and with his full-time job. So we practiced, and we did about 5 weeks at Suzy and Joe's. We did open mic nights while we got a repertoire together of about 65 cover songs. And then I've written several songs years back, and so we started redoing some of the original songs. And we had actually recorded a CD a few years back, so we started selling that at our gigs. And I think we've had about, I don't know, 30 gigs or so since last May. The end of May was the first real show that we did in Cape St. Clair. And so we've been getting booked, as you know, like I said, 3 to 4 times a month, and we've been playing different venues around the area. So It's been great.
Well, spring is in the air, at least it feels like spring is in the air anyways. Joe, tell us about what's coming up and some of the venues that you'll be playing at this winter and this spring.
Well, coming up immediately, we have the Metropolitan in downtown Annapolis, which is a new venue for us, but has gone over very well for us. Next Wednesday. And then that Friday, the following Friday, we're at Finn's in Crofton. And we are playing places like Sly Fox, downtown Annapolis when it gets warmer out. We like to do the outdoor venues like Kaufman's, Lohr's, and we've been playing Ram's Head Roadhouse. So we've got a lot going on, and we really enjoy it.
And we've also been doing private events, which is something that we would like to get more involved in. So we do birthday parties. We're getting ready to do a friend's father's 65th birthday party, and we'll be the entertainment for that.
Not with clowns.
And, yeah.
No clowns.
So yeah, so we like I said, if you go on our website or Facebook page, there's a way to contact us if you would like live music for some sort of whatever kind of event you're looking for. That's something we both enjoy. So
great, and you're going to perform the song Nashville for us, and this was a song that was written by you. Tell us what the meaning is behind Nashville.
Well, I wrote Nashville, I think it was in 2007, so we're going on almost 5 years ago. And we had my 4 daughters by then, but we hadn't adopted our son, so if you listen to the words, you're like, where's she had a son? He wasn't born yet, so he's not in here. But I was, we were coming home from vacation, we were in South Carolina, and we were, driving north and on 95, and there's an exit, even though it's, we were nowhere near Nashville, but there's an exit that says Nashville. And so when I write, all the words just kind of come out of the air, and they're in my head. And at the time, we didn't have the iPhone with the voice memo app.
Quick, grab a pen and some paper and jot it down.
I called my answering machine at home. So when I called my answering machine, I had to, it kept cutting me off. So I had like 6 messages when I got home of the song. And it's basically, the premise of the song is about how when you're younger, and even, I was pregnant with my oldest daughter at 21, and so it was a little bit of a different. I have a different life than I thought I would have when I was a teenager, and the song is about how that's okay, and that even though your plans might take you in a different direction than you thought, that there's a reason for it, and that it's even better than what you thought you might have been doing. And so that's where the lyrics came from, Nashville.
Well, that's a beautiful message. As a mother-to-be, I can relate to that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing it. And audience, without further ado, Suzy Estrada, Joe Burcham with Nashville.
Thank you. I was driving down the highway when I saw that big old exit sign to Nashville, and I kept on going. And even though I didn't look back, I couldn't help but wonder what it might have been like, but I didn't show it. You see, my girls are in the backseat, chasing fairy tales and dreams that I remember, but time can change things. And if I told them who their mama thought she'd be one day, they'd smile and say, let's go then. Let's go to Nashville. And I would hold them close and say, my loves, my dreams have all come true. Everything I left behind was worth it, all because of you. Nashville, you're gonna have to wait for me. My babies, they need
I was listening to the music on the radio. I closed my eyes to daydream. Sometimes it feels good to say if that were me, I'd sing that melody a little differently in Nashville. If only I could. But then from far away I hear my favorite song. It's singing, "Mommy, what you doing?" And I open my eyes, and the sweetest voice I've ever heard reminds me that my heart belongs to these girls and not to Nashville. And I hold them close and say, my loves, my dreams have all come true. Everything I left behind was worth it, all because of you. So Nashville, you're gonna have to wait for me. My babies, they need me. But time can change anything, and when I'm good and ready, maybe there'll be a place for me. Looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. I will gladly lay down my life so they can dream. Nashville, you're gonna have to wait for me. My babies, they need me. But time can change anything, and when I'm good and ready, maybe there'll be a place for me. I was driving down the highway when I saw that big old exit sign to Nashville, and I kept on going.
All right, well, that was beautiful. I think you definitely have a career ahead of you as a singer-songwriter. And for those out there who are inspired by Suzy, the auditions are still going on for the 2012 Annapolis Idol, and the last set, I believe, is next Tuesday at Wild Willie's. And don't forget that the finals are March 4th at Wild Willie's in Annapolis. So thank you very much for being here, and we'll hear more from you at the end of the show. And until then, let's go to Erik with more news.
Thanks, Karla. Well, on February 1st, 2012, at approximately 4:10 a.m., officers from the Eastern District responded to the 400 block of Knollcrest Road in Glen Burnie for an attempted armed robbery that had just occurred. Joining us now is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy with further details on the investigation. Justin.
Thanks, Erik. When officers arrived on scene, they spoke with the victim. The victim was a 36-year-old male newspaper delivery driver who was actually indicating he was delivering a newspaper to an apartment complex on Glenmar Road and was walking back to his car when he was approached by two male suspects. Now, one suspect displayed a handgun and demanded money. The victim indicated that he did not have any money. When no money or property was located, the suspects ultimately fled the area south toward Hiddenbrook. Several officers and a K-9 unit canvassed the area to search for the suspects. They were unable to locate those suspects. First suspect is described as a black male, about 5 feet 10 inches tall, with a thin build, last seen wearing a blue bandana covering his face with an unknown type of hat. Suspect number 2 is described as a black male, about 6 feet with a thin build. We're going to move on now to our second incident. That one took place on January 29th, about 12:43 in the morning. Now, that's when an officer from the Eastern District was approached near the 400 block of Old Mill Road in Millersville by a 39-year-old male victim who reported he was just robbed at gunpoint. That victim told the officer he was walking towards the 7-Eleven on Old Mill Road. That's when a suspect approached him, displayed a handgun. This was in the area of Chalet Drive. The suspect then demanded money from the victim, who ultimately complied with those demands by turning over money to the suspect, who then ran away. Several officers canvassed the area, were unable to locate the suspect. He's being described as a black male in his early to mid-20s, about 6 feet, 170 to 200 pounds, last seen wearing black clothing. Now, folks, as always, if you have any information on the crimes or suspects we mentioned on the show, Don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. The number is available 24 hours a day, toll-free. You should know it by now. It's 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. You can also text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Your third option, visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might even be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Erik.
Thanks, Justin.
We want to take a moment to remember the members of our community who were tragically killed in 2 terrible car accidents this weekend, including one that took the life of a member of the Week in Review family. Brian McDevitt, the co-founder of Anne Arundel County Breaking News and Events, was killed in a crash on Fort Smallwood Road. Brian was known fondly by so many in the Pasadena community and by thousands who knew him through Facebook. More than 100 people attended a vigil for Brian, and many dealt with their grief by decking out the crash scene with balloons and notes. Brian was 32 years old. And as Chief Cox mentioned earlier, just over 2 hours later, there was another tragic accident where a car traveled down Route 50 and Interstate 97 headed in the wrong direction. 3 teenagers were killed in the accident, and a man in another car was also killed. The teenagers killed in the wreck were the driver, Brittany Walker, 19, who was leaving a birthday party, and her 2 18-year-old passengers, Brianna Franco and Zach Rose. Brittany's car also struck a car driven by Terry Davis. Davis was also killed in the crash. He was 55 years old. Everyone here at Week in Review sends our condolences to the friends and families of those lost community members. Please be careful out there on the roads, and if you're not sober enough to drive, leave your keys in your pocket or call a cab. One of the many options is to call Safe T Ride, which will actually drive your car home for you. You can reach them at 301-910-9854.
2 tragic accidents there,
Yeah.
Karla, and it's certainly is a shame, and a lot of friends and a lot of family left behind, and a lot of grief, a lot of sorrow. You know, always do your best when you're out there on the roads.
All
and
in one
watch
weekend.
out. All in one
All
weekend.
in one night, really.
So it's
yeah.
it's some tough stuff. But on a better note, something else happened this weekend too, and you got that right, folks. I picked the perfect year to take the polar bear plunge because it really wasn't that cold out. It was a great event, though, and I got to team up with some great folks from Recreation and Parks like Carolyn Ryan, who's always on our show, Franklin Cheney, Rick Anthony, and the rest of the Recreation and Parks team to dip in and raise money for Special Olympics. The event raised a whopping $2.5 million and was a ton of fun. As for my fellow plungers, we'll see you next year. But we all know that Carolyn Ryan has much more going on than just plunging. In this week's Recreation and Parks Spotlight, she has information about an upcoming event to preview summer programs. Carolyn.
It may be the beginning of February, but this weather is making us all think summer. And what better way to plan for the summer than to come out to our 3rd annual Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks Summer Camp and Program Fair. I'm here at the North Arundel Aquatic Center with Jackie Herman, one of our recreation supervisors, and camp extraordinaire. Jackie, tell us about this year's camp fair. Where is it and when is it?
It is February 11th, which is a Saturday at Severna Park High School from 10 to 1.
Great. And who is going to be there?
Basically, there'll be representatives for all the camps and specialty camps that we will be offering this summer. We'll have our summer fun centers, our teen camps, the day camps at Quiet Waters at Lake Waterford and Mayo Beach. We'll also have our specialty camps represented. Some will include Mad Science, Jump Bunch, our new brain camp this summer, and many, many, many more.
When you say many, many, many more, you're not kidding. I was counting through. I think we have at least 100 different summer camps planned for this summer.
That is correct. We have something for everyone, so please come out and join us and participate in the activities we have for the kids, and we'll have some raffles for swim passes and so on. So come join us.
Great. Now, registration. When does registration open for our summer programs and our summer camps?
Registration opens on February 15th for our summer programs, but if you attend our camp fair on February 11th, you will have the opportunity to register 4 days early for any of our summer programs except for school-age childcare. You will need to bring a check. We will only be taking checks on site.
Great. And if they want to register with a credit card, just wait till February 15th and go online and register there. And anything else about the camp fair? It sounds like a great time, and it's free. We should mention that also. Bring the whole family, bring the kids. Like Jackie said, there'll be arts and crafts and projects and fun things for everyone. So Get ready for summer. Come on out to our summer camp and program fair. Again, Severna Park High School on February 11th from 10 to 1. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Carolyn. Glad to see that you're all dry now. I should also mention that the 10-person Recreation and Parks team at the Plunge raised $765 for Special Olympics. Great job to the team.
Great job to you too.
Thank you.
I saw the pictures. It looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, good camaraderie,
Yeah.
a lot of good folks there. Everybody, everybody had warm hearts because they were doing it for the right cause, even though it was a nice day out for January.
It seemed pretty
Upper
nice
40s,
out. Yeah,
little wind,
sunny.
but the water's cold. You gotta understand that. You're going into freezing cold bay water. But one of our members, I gotta talk about one of our members.
Okay.
And I think we've got a picture of this, and we're gonna put this picture up here. Mr. Franklin Cheney, Mr. Week in Review. I mean, we get more fan mail from about Franklin Cheney than anybody that comes on the show. Everybody wants to be Franklin's friend, but he's a scaredy cat.
Did he get in?
Well, the picture shows everything here. He's kind of being coaxed to the water here, and then there he goes. He's running into the water. He barely got his feet wet in the water, and he had shoes on. I mean, Franklin, come on. A lot of people called and emailed and sent Facebook messages and tweets and made YouTube videos. They wanted to see you get wet in the water, and you let them down, Franklin. This can't happen again next year.
There's always next year.
There's always next year. I know Carolyn Ryan and Connie and Colleen and Georgette, they're all pulling their resources together. We're going to put together a huge Anne Arundel County team.
Okay, well, if you need another member, I can do it next year.
You can do it next year. And bring the baby.
I don't think she's going to get in the water.
She doesn't need to get in the water, but she can just
She'll
come
just
out
be
and
a
support.
spectator.
She'll be a spectator.
And we have some good pictures of this that we're going to put up, right?
Great pictures.
For our viewers.
For everybody to see. Of course, those Franklin Cheney pictures got put out there. Well, folks, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and on YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes or like us on Facebook at Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around your county. And now Suzy Estrada is going to take us out with one of her songs that she won the Annapolis Idol with, Anyway.
For nothing, one storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know that it might never come your way. Sometimes life ain't good. When I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. Yeah, I do it anyway. This world's gone crazy, and it's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reasons. In a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. When I pray, it start singing a song you believe in, that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing